Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Krsna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasaya
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Krsna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasaya
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Krsna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasaya
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Krsna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prasaya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Dayanya
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vatsade Gaura Vrinda
Bhagavad Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vatsade Gaura Vrinda
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda
Everybody sing.
Madana Mohana
Haribol.
Gopala
Goranga, Goranga. Ditay ko Haribol.
Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Gopala Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Om Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Hari Om Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna.
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Om Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Hari Om Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna.
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Haribol, Nitay Gol, Haribol.
Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Hari Om Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Goranga.
Hari Om Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Hari Om Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Goranga.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Guranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Guranga.
Jaya Jaya Srila
Hari
Prabhupada,
Om Krishna,
Jaya Jaya
Hari
Gurudev,
Om Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Srila
Hari
Prabhupada,
Om Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda,
Hari Om Krishna,
Ananta
Hari
Paramahamsa.
Om Krishna,
Jaya Jaya
Hari
Siddhaswarupananda,
Om Krishna,
Ananta Paramahamsa. Haribol.
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.
Ang topic natin ngayon, yun yung discussion natin kung ano yung science ng pagkakaintindi ng Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means our eternality, our awareness, our transcendental nature, life. Okay? Chit is wisdom. And if we have wisdom and we are connected in harmony with the transcendental world of pure devotion and service, we experience ananda or happiness. The soul, you, me, the person who is looking for happiness in this dead world, in this desert world, drowning sa ocean na to of birth, diseases, old age, and death, struggling very hard. Okay. One who is blessed by the devotee of God comes in contact with the wisdom, the science that will connect one tayo with transcendental understanding. Yung understanding na yon, it is connected with our transcendental true nature. Kaya very clear lahat. So ngayon, ma-distinguish natin, makikita natin, what puts me in a world of harm and emptiness when I'm not able to experience yung ananda or happiness. What I experience sa mundo nito ay temporary flickering happiness. Ay ibig sabihin ng flickering, nakakita na kayo ng ng glowworm, kanang tawag nila firefly. Okay? Di ba mayroong bombilya, tawag ang brand nila, Firefly? Excuse me. So, yung happiness na ma-experience natin, we need an ocean of happiness, unlimited happiness. Kasi nga, our craving, ang paghahanap natin ng kaligayahan, is unlimited. Okay? And that can only be satisfied in a transcendental dimension, not this material world. Based upon the absolute transcendental reality of a relationship with the source of happiness. Okay? Kaya pag naka-come in contact tayo sa bona fide spiritual master, binigyan niya tayo ng proseso. Ano yung proseso na yon? Para ma-purify, malinis yung puso natin at we can direct the mind. Kasi kaya tayo nagsasuffer kasi we are desire-driven. Alam yung desire-driven? Sinusunod natin yung mga mithiin sa isipan natin. So, to recap, there's yung material energy, it's about the gross and the subtle. Subtle means, parang subtle, nakikita nyo yung, for example, ito, gumagalaw, di ba? Pero hindi nyo nakikita yung hangin, di ba? Subtle ba? Yung gross, nakikita nyo ng mata nyo. Yung subtle, finer than the gross. Ibig sabihin nun, finer ba? Hindi nakikita ng gross mata mo. Yung mata mo kasi, it's made out of matter, tubig, saka gross matter. Kaya nakikita mo lang gross matter. Ikaw yung person na tumitingin sa mata looking at this gross world. Pero may hindi nakikita ang mata but through intelligence and clarity ng science, alam mo, may hangin. Kasi nga, na-experience mo yung nakikita mo umiikot yung ito, may gumagalaw, di ba? Pero hindi nyo nakikita yung hangin. Hindi rin nyo nakikita yung kuryente, pero nakikita nyo may ilaw na nagbibigay liwanag sa mata. Naintindihan nyo? Klaro na? Kayo sa inyo? Di man na kayo lisod sabtun, no? Na ikaw ang person na sa lawas, ikaw ang driver sa lawas. Karon, kung nag-identify ka na ikaw ang lawas, sundon nimo ang unsay na sa huna-huna nimo. Sa huna-huna nimo, naatanan dito ang mga na-experience nimo na temporary experience, either happiness or distress. Pero kasagaran, mangita gyud ta kalipay, kay natural man sa ato na mangita kalipay. Pero kung dili ta kasabot, kung kinsa ta wa ta hanaw, lisud. Kay natural sa ato na to be active. Akala naton active ko, okay? Runner ko, okay? Runner ka, gigamit nimo imong lawas mo dagan. Okay? Sabot ka? So pag abot nyo dire, murag unsa man ni gitudlo dire. Kaya ang gitudlo sa ako, grade 1 pa ko, pagsulod na ako sa eskwela, ang pangutana dayon, kinsa imong papamama. Okay? Unsay color sa imong mata. Di ba? Unsay nationality nimo. Okay? Unsay nationality, pasabot na, Amerikano ka ba? Pilipino? So ibutang nimo dito, Pilipino. Pero tungod sa ang Philippines na-liberate kuno sa slavery, so dili nimo ibutang dito, gamiton nimo F. Gamiton gyud nimo dito ang abbreviation sa Pilipino, P. Okay? I-L. Okay? Pilipino. Hindi, Filipino. Okay? Intindihan nyo? Is it clear? So, pag abot nyo diri, ang gitudlo sa inyo, bata pa mo, kinsa imong papa, kinsa imong mama, okay? Unsay color sa imong lawas, brown ba? Unsay color sa imong mata, brown ba? Itom, okay? Imong buhok, hair nimo, tanan, okay? At ang sunod, pagsulod nimo, ngutana ang teacher nimo, di ba, na mga pagsulod nyo, unsay gusto nimo dong, iha, unsay gusto nimo maabot ang imong ugma, unsa man. Kaya ang gibutang nimo dito, ang papa nimo engineer, ang mama nimo doktora. Gusto nako awaton ang gihimo sa akong mama. Okay? Mahimo kong doktora. Okay? Yun ang goal mo. Okay? Walang problema doon. Kasi by nature, kana kita, active ta by nature. Ang difference lang yun, na dili ta maka-experience really kanang kalipay na gipangita nato, kaya atong mga lihok nakatunong diri sa material world. So karon naa process ba kanang lihok na ang activities nato, ang lihok nato pwede makahatag kalipay sa atong kasing-kasing. Okay. Kasi by nature we are searching for happiness. Okay. Kaya wala man sa inyo diri na nangita, di ba, kada mabadlong mo ni Madam ni Chalila kay, oy, unsa man na, gihimo nyo. Kung tanawon nyo, nangita mo kalipay, di ba? Wa mo nagsulti, asa diri maglisod ko, okay? Asa dito ang mubunal sa akong ulo, asa ang balay sa tambubuang kay muduol ko. Di ba? Ba mo naginana, di ba? Pag ulan, pwera lang ka ng ulan, maligo mo, okay? Maligo ko sa, magdula ko, okay? Pero di ka kaibalo, pwede ka magsakit. Okay? Pero ang point na ako, kailangan na to a higher activity. Parang ang bata ba, for example, mahatag ko example. Kung ang bata na dulaanan, okay? Kung ang bata, ang dulaanan niya, makita man yung mga bata sa bukid ba? Ang dulaanan nila maghimo sila kanang mangita sila kahoy, butangan nila alambre, mangita sila kanang mutuyok. Ila na itulak ba, di ba? Kung kuhaon nimo sa bata na kanang iyang kalipay, muhilak na, di ba? Suko na sa imo. Pero kung hatagan nimo siya bisikleta, tudluan nimo magbike, okay? Okay niya. O kaya trolley. Naman trolley kanang dili na nimo si paon. Nakita niyo to? Kanang trolley na kay balo ka na, unsa to? Katong makita nyo sa mga mall, nagtindog sila, nakatrolley lang ana. Hatagan nimo sila a higher activity, okay? Mas taas ba? So, ang purpose nato sa wisdom is to understand na nataklaro na, kanang ako palang lihok, mangita kalipay, wala pala diha. Kay active bang ko by nature, life, awareness. So, kini ang process na enkwentro nyo karon. Okay? Natagpuan ba nyo? It teaches about who you are, a different energy from matter. It teaches, give us the wisdom how to direct the mind, and it is based upon spiritual understanding that is absolute. Okay? So, it is about the study of science and science. Material understanding ko ano to, at spiritual science. At ano yung spiritual science na yon? It is about your relationship with God and your search for happiness. So, ang nangita gyud kalipay, ikaw, kaya lang, asa ka nangita kalipay? Okay? Kasabot mo? Okay. So karon naamo diri sa Madana, unsa man na ba? Ano kada daw sige sila Chad. So si Lord Chaitanya gi-invite ni Advaita Acharya to come. Nag-worship siya kay Lord Krsna to come to this world to be the person who will bring us back to the spiritual world. And he comes chanting the holy names of God. And what is the chanting of the holy names of God? It is God coming down through sound. Kanang sound ba? And sound is very powerful. Okay? Very powerful ang sound. Okay? And this sound is non-different from God. The cause of all causes. The source of happiness. The source of pleasure. Okay? The source of wisdom. The all-attractive supreme person, God, appears as the holy names. So, how can we know God? Okay? Kasi gusto man nato, di ba laging pangutana, kung na Ginoo unsa kinsa gyud siya, di ba? Naman mo pangutana na. Pero nahitabo man gyud kanang Bible na nagtudlo dito, ang pinaka-foremost teaching ni Lord Jesus Christ, one must love the Supreme Person with thy whole heart, thy whole mind, thy whole being, okay? Second unto that is loving your neighbors as you love yourself. So, if we want to love someone, syempre kailangan kakaibalo ka, kasabot ka, kinsag yun na siya, di ba? Pag sinabi mong qualities, for example, pag sinabi mong tubig, basa. Pag sinabi mong apoy, mainit. So pag sinabi mong person, ibig sabihin nun, may quality rin yung person. Pareho kayo ngayon, nandito kayo, di ba? Uy, kining si Muraridas, buutan kayo na. Pagtulog, okay? Na? So isang quality niya, pagtulog siya, buutan kayo siya. Okay? Tapos, ano kayo na? Kugihan kayo na. Matulog. Okay? So, quality niya yon under sa modes ng material nature. Okay? Tapos, kini naman, sabi na, kini si Ananta o si Haridas. Bright kayo na. Okay? Mulikay sa trabaho. Okay? So, dito nyo makita ba yung mga qualities ng mga tayo, okay? Spirit soul. Halimbawa, sabihin natin kay si Radha, okay? Ang quality na, nagbugo-bugo lang na, pero bright na. Okay? Para di nyo makita, unsay gusto niya na lihok, na dili ka ng para ang tunong, unsay gusto sa Ginoo. Okay? Makita man nyo sa lihok. Okay? So, makita na to. Pag sinabi nyong, ang person, supreme person, si Krishna, yung wisdom to understand God, it is already given to us by our instructing spiritual master, Advaita Acharya. Kasi nga, in-invite na si Lord Chaitanya. So with the wisdom na tinuro sa atin, we must be able to realize our true transcendental nature. You're not the body. You're life. So definitely, ang conclusion mo, wala pala kalipay sa material. Kaya masiunsay tao na ako, tulog na ako, masiunsao na ako akong senses, kamuton. Pirmi mangyud katul. Okay? So, nagsulti si Lord Krishna sa Bhagavad Gita, to those whose senses are unbridled, okay? Devotional service does not take place. Unsa man na, okay? Ibig sabihin nun, if you cannot hold your horses, the senses, because you're the driver, ikaw yung nakadrive, ikaw yung nasa karwahe ba? Nandito ka sa katawan na to. At yung senses mo, mga kabayo yan eh. Okay? At kailangan marendahan mo yan. Hawak mo yung senses. Kaya nga, hold your horses. Kaya lagi kayong pagsasabihan na ni Chalila, oy, Radadasi, nganong hihimo na, magbinutan ka na. Pero ang question, kung di mo kaya i-hold ang horses nimo, kaya ang imong mga kabayo, unbridled, walay renda, at ang mind nimo, dili nimo hawak na ma-harness, mabira na mga kabayo, then may problema ka. Kaya you are desire-driven. Ano yung desire-driven? Yung mind natin, nandyan lahat yung experience natin ng kaligayahan, nandyan lahat. Para bang, alam nyo yung database, di ba? Parang sa computer, hindi ba lahat ng mag-upload kayo, di ba? Mga apps, nandyan lahat yan sa mind, okay? Since time immemorial, nandyan yan. Kaya nga, pag natutulog kayo, magtataka kayo, bakit sa panaginip ko, nasa isang lugar ako na nakakatakot? Pero wala naman experience ko sa mundo na to. Okay? So yung mind mo, nandun lahat yun. Okay? Yun ang database. Lahat ng experience mo sa mundo. O kaya na-experience mo, uy, bakit ako nasa lugar na to na parang lumilipad ako? Okay? Okay? Pero wala ka, hindi mo naman na-experience ngayon yun. Sa katawan na to. Pero sa mind mo nandun. Hindi dahil napanood mo sa sine o imagination mo, hindi. O kaya, natutulog ka biglang, meron kang bad dreams. Okay? Lalo na yung pag nilalagnat ka na mataas, tumatakbo ka, hinahabol ka ng impacto. Okay? Dahil huliin ka. Okay? Takbo ka ng takbo at sa taas ng lagnat mo, biglang Gising ka, okay? May mga experience na ganun, pero hindi ko man na-experience dito, okay? Na-experience ko, giapas ko sa ako mamabunal, dagang ko, okay? Pero dili ka ng experience na, okay? Na-experience nyo yun sa mind, lahat yun. So yung living entity, yung mind natin, nandun lahat yung experience. Kaya kung hindi natin hawak yung mind, hindi natin mariredirect because the mind is very powerful. It is where material nature influence us. Okay? If you identify with the body, naturally, yung mind natin will be influenced by the modes. Eh kung ang modes ng passion, gusto mong sensus ka, okay? Sensus ka ba? Kaya makarinig ka na ng music, sumasayaw ka na. Okay? Okay. Marinig mo yung, ano ba yan? Moonwalk. Ano yung moonwalk? Nagsasayaw ka na ng patalikod, okay? Parang sino yung namatay? Okay? Gagayahin mo kagad. Dahil sa sound na narinig mo. Okay? Dahil sa influence ng passion. So, ang point ko rito, we must be applying yung process that is connected with what is transcendental. Ano yung transcendental na yun? Eternal. Kasi lahat na nakikita natin dito temporary. Kaya nga, makikita natin, how come we cannot see clearly? Kaya tayo hindi nakakakita clearly not with your eyes, with the eye of intelligence. Okay? Because of our consciousness. Because of lack of hearing from our instructing spiritual master and applying the process. Parang halimbawa, tinuruan ka na may sakit ka, mataas yung lagnat mo, taas kaya imong gilantan ka ba? Sultihan ka sa doktor, kini ang imong tambal na gihatag na ako sa imo, 7 days, imo na imnon, 3 times a day, o kini para sa inflammation, kini naman para sa imong vitamin C, okay? Kaya everyday na, asa maayo ka, okay? Dahil gihatagan ka ng prescription para maayo imong sakit, okay? So ngayon, ang problem natin, yung diniscuss ko, unbridled senses, okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi natin narerendahan. Kaya we are running by the tongue. Alam yung running by the tongue? Loose talk. Alam yung tongue? Okay? May mamit kang tao, may makita ka, immediately, ano mangyayari? Ni Chalila, please. Ma. Ibilin na. So, ang gusto kong i-point out dito, if you follow yung process na binigay sa atin, it is the process that will purify us from this material consideration because we will be with wisdom of who we are. Marirealize mo ba? Kaya yung hinahanap nating kaligayahan, an ocean of happiness, sobrang, unlimited, and we are in the wrong direction kung ang happiness hinahanap natin sa temporary world. Kasi very obvious naman, life for life, love for love. Okay? You are the awareness at ang ginagawa natin, pinipiga natin yung happiness sa wala namang happiness. Kaya nga ang tawag dito ay chewing the chewed. Lahat na nakikita nyo rito na piga na. Okay? Napiga na ba? Bubble gum, di ba? Nakakita, alam nyo yung bubble gum, yung Wrigley. Okay? Juicy fruit. Okay? Alam nyo yan, di ba? Kasi, di ba, dito bawal, alam nyo huwag kayong kain ng bubble gum kasi puro hangin yung tiyan, sige kayo utot. Okay? Pati mo bahuin yung baba. So, ang point ko rito, yung bubble gum, kinain mo, dinura mo ba? Okay? So ngayon, itong material energy na to, ang tawag dito, chewing the chewed. Kasi lahat ng atoms dito are building blocks na nag-undergo ng transformation. Yun yung tinatawag nila sa science na the law of transformation of energy. Transforming ba? Naglalaro naman kayo ng mga transformer, di ba? Yung mga laro na yon, nagtatransform into different form. Napanood nyo yan? Yung kotse, nagiging truck, nagiging aeroplano, mga transformer. Di ba? Yun ang mga laro ng mga bata, yun ang pinanonood. So dito rin, ganun yung nangyayari. yung nakikita mong form na yan, nag-undergo ng transformation. Kasi through metabolism. Ano yung metabolism? When you take something, you put it in your mouth, yung food, marireplenish yung dead matter. Kaya, merong yung metabolism na yon, yung kinain nyo, masisynthesize yun. Ibig sabihin, it will break down and the cells will be able to be replenished from yung dead part niya. Okay? Yung cell, 7 years lang naman ang last. Pero yung cells kasi continually nagkakaroon din ng tinatawag nila another cell. Okay? So, yun yung point ko. Naintindihan niyo? Is it klaro sa inyo? So, yung na-chewed na, makikita nyo bagong form, okay? Pagtagal nun, parang halimbawa, ganito nakakita na kayo nung unang panahon dito sa atin, di ba, mayroong mga lumang, halimbawa, yung sasakyan na Beetle, di ba? Volkswagen, di ba? Yung Beetle. Pero makita nyo, wala na halos Beetle kayo makita ngayon, di ba? Kasi, dinala na sa junk shop, okay? Chinap-chap ng kinating, inasetilin, tinunaw, okay? Ngayon, yung bakal na yon, binili ng isang factory, okay? Nagtutunaw ng bakal. Okay? Is it clear? Tinunaw yon, ginawang parang block ng metal, at dinala naman sa isang factory, ginawa na naman nilang tin plates, okay? So ngayon, yung dating body ng Volkswagen, na nag-rust na, tinunaw, nawala na yung rust, okay? Iba na naman ngayon, ginamit na naman bagong forma na naman. Okay? Bagong forma. Raptor. Okay? Pero yung metal na nagme-make nun, dating nagme-make ng bulok, lumang Volkswagen, na dati, yung Volkswagen, dumating sa point na sa statistic, umabot ng 20 million yung na-produce na Volkswagen. Pero meron ka pa nakikita ngayon na tumatakbo na Beetle. Okay? Na gano'n lang kaliit. Yung parang gano'n. Parang bao ba? Beetle. Okay. So, makikita nyo, kung may wisdom ka, makikita mo ba? You should be intelligent to listen carefully and then understand. Yes. By nature, I'm searching for happiness. Yun, okay? Naintindihan na nyo ngayon yung turo, you're not the body, your awareness. So yung awareness mo must be connected with understanding the source, the cause of all causes, God. Okay? Kaya yung process na tinuturo sa atin with wisdom is about the glories and activities of God, the qualities of God. Kasi para mamahal mo isang person, kailangan alam mo kung sino siya. Kilala mo kung sino siya. So ngayon, kung ang libro mo, para bang yung bata, for example, may dictionary akong maliit, okay? Di ba may dictionary na maliit lang? So pag makita mo dictionary, ang nipis para sa mga grade school. Tapos may meaning doon, kung ano-ano, di ba? Meaning ng water, meaning ng fire. Pero meron ding mas malaking dictionary. Mas maraming, Webster Dictionary, o parang mas marami pang, yung bata na maliit, halimbawa, yung isang bata na grade 1, nabasa niya sa dictionary, okay? Water, wet. Yun lang nakalagay, water, wet, okay? Sa kabilang dictionary, dinescribe na naman doon yung, halimbawa, yung Webster, o kaya yung scientific dictionary, water, H2O, okay? Combination of, ano yun? Hydrogen and what? Oxygen, okay? Tapos, water, yung through condensation, okay? It goes and becomes cloud. Pag sinabi mo sa bata na may dictionary na maliit, oy, H2O na, okay? Unsa man na, diri sa akong dictionary, wet lang man ang tubig. Di siya kasabot, di ba? Kaya ang wisdom, knowledge niya, sa limited small dictionary lang, okay? Kaya di siya kasabot. Okay? Halimbawa, ang bata, tinuruan nyo ng, halimbawa, pagpasok nyo rito, tuturuan yung bata, okay? Ng simple arithmetic. Okay? 1 plus 1, 2, di ba? 2 minus 1, di ba? 1. Ganon, simple lang. Pag tinuruan mo siya ng square 1, okay? Okay? Tinuruan mo siya ng quantum physics, ng computation, ng speed, para, halimbawa, tuturuan mo siya ng 360 degrees, north-south, isip niya, unsa mana, di ba? Di siya kasabot. Kaya di man siya pa hindi pa siya naturuan. Okay? Pero pag nalaman niya yung basic, madali na niyang maintindihan yung foundation. Okay? Meron siyang foundation ng simple math. Okay? Yung arithmetic. Kaya minus, subtraction, okay? Marunong na siya, multiplication, marunong na siya. Then after that, ituturo sa kanya more complex, science ng mathematics. At maintindihan niya. Kaya yung mga engineer, nakikita nyo, it's more about computation. Puro lang computation, okay? Tsaka yung mga chemical engineer. Pero hindi maintindihan nyo ng isang grade 1 na bata. Okay? So ngayon, ang nangyari, si Lord Chaitanya, He came here. Okay? When He came, makikita natin, He revealed Himself to everyone. But those who are so engrossed, they cannot see Lord Chaitanya. They cannot understand who He is. Kasi nakikita nila, He's just chanting congregationally. Okay? So, kaya ko sinasabi, yung devotee, makikita niya si Krishna. And marireveal lang sa person kung he's able to control his senses. Okay. He's able to understand his true identity at he follows yung instruction ng spiritual master. Then, how can we understand God? Through revelation. He will reveal Himself to us. So, may qualification. Those who are saintly person can see God. Pero yung demon, hindi niya makikita. Okay. Kasi God is a person like you are a person. So, if you can make decision not to follow the will of God, God can also have this freedom. Okay? You have the freedom to make a choice. But the problem is that if you make the wrong choice, because you're not the controller, you will experience the pain or the suffering of what you did or you chose. Naintindihan niyo yan? Kaya nag-aral kayo sa Madana, okay? Your parents made the choice for you, pumunta kayo rito, okay? Pero pwede rin, kung ang choice nyo, sinabi sa inyo, okay, wag na. Ang gawin mo na lang, hindi ka na lang mag-undergo ng study training, dito ka na lang sa bahay, okay? Kasi nga, para makatipid tayo, okay? Kasi nga, bakit ka pa mag-enroll sa private school, okay? Kasi hindi man nila alam yung system na merong process na ma-adapt, na adaptive sa situation. Number 1, yung internet, video call, okay? Habang tumatagal, na-enhance yun because of technology. Pero kung ang gagawin lang natin, yung ginagawa ng lahat, na yung bata, bibigyan ng module, at yung nanay, na hindi naman talaga, walang kaalaman sa pagtuturo talaga, at walang pasensya, siya yung magiging teacher. Siya yung mag-aaral ng module. Okay? Siya yung sasagot sa module. Kaya imbis na yung bata nag-aaral, ano mangyari? Yung nanay. Okay? Hanggang pagtagal, hindi nakasabot ang nanay, undang na lang eskwela dong. Okay? Kapoy kaayo. Okay? So, ang nangyari, yung choice nila, kasi hindi pwedeng, you must also put investment. Time mo ba? Okay? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Ibig sabihin nun, kung wala kang tinanim, wala kang anihin. Mas klaro yan, di ba? So, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay? A certain activity leads to a certain consciousness. So, if you sacrifice for a system, a process, for learning, yung mga parents, with a school that is a system that is adaptive to time and circumstances to be able to teach your children, pero naisip mo, dito na lang ko, okay? Pero ang tanong, natuto ba yung bata? Okay? Natuto ba? Okay? So ngayon, mangyayari, O sige, pasa na lang yan. So you went to school just to pass. Alam niyo to pass? Pumasok ka sa eskwela para lang pumasa. Okay? Kaya ang buhay mo, school bukol. Okay? Kaya pagdating mo ng college, pag una pa lang pasok, di ko kasabot ni. Okay? Undang dayon. Transfer na kaagad sa ibang kurso. Pag dili pagid makasabot, uli, balik na naman. Laing eskwela naman. Okay? Di pagyapong kasabot. Karon, butang nato. Kining eskwela, nakahatag sa inyo, okay, graduation day. Nandyan ang papa mama mo, okay? Dang 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 dang, okay? So nagsulod ka sa eskwela, nakapasa ka lang, okay? Huwag ka nasabtan, basta nakapasa ka, lima ka medalya, okay? 5 ka medalya kay number 1, sa medalya na nakuha nimo ka ng ano ba yung medalya na ano ka? Yung nagsimula sa kinder hanggang ano? Loyalty award. 5 yung loyalty award mo. Kasi yung mga grade school dati, kindergarten, classmate mo na. Hindi ka umaalis sa eskwela. Okay? Ngayon, pagpasok mo sa trabaho, mag-apply ka, wala ka na alaman, tanungin ka, okay? Please, tell me about yourself. Unsa? Okay? Nga nung mangutana ka sa ako. Na ako diri para mo trabaho. Okay? Ngayon, ang tanongin nyo, for example, multi-million dollar company. Okay? I-hire ka ba nila? kung wala kang nalaman. Ibig sabihin nun, they'll put their company in harm's way. Pwede sila mabankrupt. Kasi ang mga tao doon na nag-run nun, di kasabot. Okay? Intindihan nyo? Yun ang magiging future. Kaya kung ano yung nauukol, yun ang bubukol sa inyo. So, ang point ko, balik ulit tayo sa pinag-usapan natin, okay? That the process na sinusunod nyo is a process that will purify your heart. It will give you clarity. And this time, it will be the person who is the supreme controller who will be giving you wisdom, who will reveal himself to you. But provided you follow the process. So, yung devotee, yung devas, or yung godly can see God. Krishna, God cannot hide himself from his devotees. But the demons who are gross materialists, who are into doing or motivated under the laws of material nature, who have material consideration, who search for happiness, is focused upon following the desire in the mind and enjoying and trying to find happiness to the senses, they cannot see God. So, it's not just seeing God. Ang question, how can we relate to Him? Okay? Madali lang man makita ang Diyos. You go to the temple, you can see Krishna. You see this material world, it's an Krishna's energy, God's energy. So ang question, how do you relate to God? Anong relationship mo sa Diyos? Okay? And since we are not self-sufficient, we need someone to give us happiness. Someone whom we can offer our life to be connected for shelter. Ang nangyayari, the happiness we're searching is an ocean. Ngayon nakadirect dito sa desert world. Alam yung desert world? Sa desert, walang tubig, di ba? So, ang mga tao naglalakad, naghanap sila ng oasis. Ano yung oasis? Yun yung source ng water. Pero mahirap kasi, kalimbawa, nasa Sahara Desert ka. Sun lang lahat. May paraan. Sa Africa, ginagawa nila, naghihintay sila sa isang lugar na may konting mga tanim. So, okay? So, ang mag-guide sa kanila, hinihanap nila, yung unggoy. Alam yung unggoy? Uy, may unggoy, nagdagan. Sundan nila yon habang malayo. Kasi yung unggoy pala, alam niya kung saan yung tubig. Yung unggoy, tatakbo at pinakita dun sa documentary, pumasok siya sa butas. Pag baba niya sa butas, uminom siya ng tubig. Nandun pala yung water base sa ilalim ng desert. So, ganun din. If you want to know who your father is, you ask your mother, okay? If you want to know and understand and be close with God, you must listen and follow the saintly person, the devotee of God. So, Lord Krishna is our eternal friend. So, inarrange niya yung buhay natin that we come in contact with this transcendental wisdom through His loving servant, the saintly person, the devotees of God. Our Gurudev, Parampara, Lord Brahma, all the saintly person, and Lord Vyasadeva, who is not different from Lord Krishna, who put into writing yung turo ni Lord Krishna. Para yun yung basehan natin, mga kasulatan banal. So si Lord Krishna mismo nagme-make ng effort, paano tayo, not effort because His love is eternal. And yung effort na ginagawa nila, it is their affection, pagmamahal sa atin, para bumalik tayo sa mundo na yun. Kumbaga naghanap tayo ng happiness or we are looking for an ocean of water, nasa desert tayo, He guides us. Okay? He guides us. He connects us with someone who is His loving servant. And bakit loving servant? Someone who has unconditional love for the Supreme Person. Kasi yun yung how we relate to God. Unflinching, undeviated, pure loving devotion, pure love for God. And that is best understood from someone who is a saintly person, a devotee of God, because they are our well-wisher. They are our well-wisher. You can see when Lord Chaitanya came here, pumunta rito sila, nauna pumunta rito, nagpunta rito sila Adwaita, in-invite si Lord Chaitanya, and the story of Jagad and Madai, okay? Si Jagad and Madai, kinakatakutan yan. Pag sinabi mo Jagad, si Madai, takbuhan na yung mga tao. Kasi masasama sila eh. Mamamatay tao, rapist, lasinggero, basagulero. Makita ka nila, bunalang ka dahil nila, baka mapatay ka, okay? So mga tao, naan si Jagay, dagan sila tanan, okay? So si Lord Chaitanya, ang mission niya sa mga disciples niya, to propagate the holy names. Kaya si Haridas Thakur, saka si Lord Nityananda, Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram, okay? They followed the desire of Lord Chaitanya na to go out and spread the holy names of God. Okay? Sankirtan. So, nung nakita nila si Jagay Madai, nakita nila, ito yung candidate na dapat nating ibigay yung holy names. Kasi nakita nila, naglalakad, lasing, at mga tao nagtatakbuhan. Kasi nga, they're very vicious. Alam yung vicious? Vicious means yung sensual enjoyer ba? Bisyoso. Okay? At pag sinabi yung vicious, halimbawa, yung person na addict, vicious. Yung person na sugalero, vicious. Vice ba? Vicious. Okay? Intindihan niya? Is it clear? So dito natin makikita na yung relationship pala natin sa Supreme Person, it's not just a relationship na ginagawa natin dati na nakagisna natin. Ano yon? You go to the temple of God and you ask God, God, give me this. So ang relationship mo is, you want God to serve you. Ang relationship natin sa Diyos ay order supplier. Para ka na sa restaurant. God, bigyan mo nga ako ng dito ng spaghetti. Okay? Waiter. Halika rito. Anong gusto? Ano yun, sir? Itong siopaw, walang ano. Bigyan mo nga ako ng ketchup na manghang. Okay? At dagdagan mo pa konti. Na konting toyo. Okay? So, ganun ang relationship natin sa Diyos. It's a relationship of wanting something. But, if we have this wisdom that what is inseparable from you, sa atin lahat, ay yung happiness, the joy, yung happiness. Kaya nga, yung activities natin sa mundo na to, it's natural for us to look for happiness. Kasi yung spirit soul by nature is joyful. Kaya lang, because lack of wisdom, ignorant, not direct sa material world, which is not joyful. The source of suffering, because a different energy. Is it clear? Okay? Kaya, yung living entity, tayo, we are given this wisdom so we can understand, yes, I want happiness. Okay? So the spiritual master give us this wisdom. Yun yung beginning ng spiritual life. Hindi pa talaga, beginning pa lang, when you understand, you are not matter. Aham Brahmasmi, meaning, I am Brahman. Brahman realization din kasi yun eh. Because you understand, you are not this body, living entity. But there's another realization, yung Brahman realization, yung effulgence sa Supreme Person. But we will not talk about that because it's a long subject matter. But Aham Brahmasmi, realization, Aham Brahmasmi, okay? I'm life. So ngayon, pag naintindihan mo nyo with clarity, by nature, I want to be happy. Okay? Let's be wag na tayo mag-isip na mga pag-usapan dito yung mga matataas na usapan. Everybody is looking for happiness. But without understanding and realizing who you really are, you'll be in the wrong direction. So the first step in the right direction is to understand your true transcendental nature. And when you speak about awareness, ano yung awareness mo? Inseparable from you, it is about the search for happiness. Because by nature, you're joyful. Kaya lang tayo hindi joyful kasi we are in this material world encumbered by this body and this body is the source of suffering. Kaya pag nasunog yung kamay, di ba? For example, nasunog, nahiwa, there's pain, di ba? Yun ang source ng suffering. Kaya lang, ang nangyari, what is happening? We are searching for happiness in the wrong direction. Pinipiga natin yung happiness na life with matter. Tingnan niya? With matter. Kaya nga, yung devotee, when you realize you're not the body, yung transcendental knowledge, who is a transcendentalist? It is someone who sees with transcendental vision. Kaya, ngayon, he understands clearly, yes, I can experience sensual pleasure. Kasi may sensual pleasure eh. Okay? Yung sense of, yung tang nyo, di ba? Itong tang nyo, may mga cell dyan na yung taste buds. Kaya pag kumain ka ng matamis, matamis. Pag kumain ka ng mapait, mapait. Okay? Kumain ka ng manghang, manghang. Dito pa lang, kasi may mga taste buds. Hindi tinuro sa science sa inyo? Hindi, no? Kaya yung tang nyo, okay, may taste bud. Kaya kung nasa modo passion ka, yung passion yung enjoyment, yung libido mo, gusto mo talaga yung maanghang, okay? Maraming toyo, maraming asin, yung siopaw mo, lagyan mo na maanghang, okay? O kakain ka ng kaldereta na, kung vegetarian ka, kaldereta na maanghang, okay? Maraming spices, okay? Talagang yung tang mo gusto mong, tawag mo doon, rhapsody, maraming taste na matikman sa tang. Pero dahil yung tang, may tawag dito na kain ka ng kain, pag mamaya, burnout ka na. Ayaw mo na kainin, okay? So, bago kita nyo, kain ka ng kain, tapos parang sumo naman, tang. So, kailangan mo ng something, okay? Inom ka ng 7-Up, okay? Para mawala yung burnout mo sa kinakain mo. So may sensual pleasure. Pero flickering. Yung hinahanap mo na kaligayahan is a relationship with God. Kung yung identification mo is with the body, yung sensual pleasure mo, limited at temporary pa rin. Kasi pag umalis ka sa katawan, iwan mo may senses. At hindi lang yun. At kung na-attach ka sa body mo, na yun ang pinipiga mo, then you come back to this world again. You have to have another body to experience again what you have planted. Yung desire sa mind mo. Kasi at the time nang alis ka sa katawan, you will be remembering lahat ng sensual pleasure. But if you realize, you understand that you're not the body and you are now dalawang living entity who understand the wisdom. Okay? Yung isa, seemingly pareho, nagtatrabaho, may family siya, nag-work siya, nagtuturo, pero hindi siya fruitive worker. Alam mo yung fruitive worker? Nagtatrabaho ka para makuha yung fruits para to offer to your senses. Okay? Hindi talaga nagtatrabaho ka lang, kung ano man yung dumating, you use yung basic needs mo, pero yung consciousness mo is a focus of an offering to God, a relationship. Kaya yung buhay mo, it's divine. Yung isa, hindi divine. Kaya parehong living entity, para mas madali, businessman, Anong trabaho ng businessman? Mangita kwarta, di ba? Ang businessman, mangita kwarta. Halimbawa, tatay mo, magtatanim na, mamimili ng saging, okay? 2 per individuals, naghahanap ng pera, okay? Yung isa, ang consciousness niya, pag naghanap siya ng pera, inisip niya, kailangan marami akong pera para mabili ko ano yung gusto ko, para magbigay ng kaligayahan sa akin. Yung isa naman, iba. Pag kung ano man yung effort niya, sa endeavor niya, sa sacrifice niya, kasi yung businessman, halos buong araw yun ang inisip lang pera, pera, pera. Pero yung isang businessman, pag ang dami niya ng resources na nakuha, ang attitude niya, caretaker. Caretaker ba? He knows does not belong to him. It's just temporary sa possession niya. At naintindihan niya yung science ng karma yoga or devotional service in offering to God. So ngayon, under the guidance of the devotee of God, he can use that material energy to offer to God. Okay? So yung cause ng suffering sa isang individual at searching for happiness, yung unlimited happiness in the desert, and he needs an ocean of water, hindi na-address. Pero itong devotee, itong person na to with spiritual understanding, realize niya kung sino siya habang nasa katawan siya, he's in complete meditation of his relationship with God. Kaya pag nakakuha siya ng material things, anything, he use it and offer it to God. He just take, hindi naman pag sinabi niyong, pag ang devotee, yung tinuturo nila na, ano daw, sinasabi nila, lalo na sa communism, the source of sin is money, okay? Hindi totoo yun. Hindi totoo yun. Kasi parehong individual, yung focus niya is to what? To get money. Kaya lang yung isa, ang conscious niya, pag nakuha ko to, makakabili ako, makaka-enjoy ako, okay? For example, sensu siya, okay? Di pwede na akong magkaroon ng, ilagay mo na 6 na asawa. Mamimaintain ko na sila, mistresses, okay? So yun ang focus niya, enjoyment of the senses. Okay? Tatrabaho siya araw-araw, okay? Yung isa naman, pag nakuha niya, okay? I can take care of my family, my body, then there's so much, I offer it to God. And how do you offer it to God? Under the guidance of the spiritual master or the representative of God. Hindi yung pagkadami mo pera na sasabihin mo, mga mahirap dyan, linya kayo rito, bibigyan ko kayo pera. Okay? Hindi ganon. Ipamumud mo, hindi ganon. He offers it to God with wisdom, with understanding. Anong ginagawa ng mga devotees who are very wealthy? Okay? May mga devotees kasi mayaman talaga So they print books. Okay? They arrange yung program wherein you can watch yung teaching ng spiritual master. They have videos, okay? They invest sa music, okay? Lahat ng ginagamit nila is an offering to God. Karma yoga. Kaya yung hinahanap nilang kaligayahan is directed and connected with the science of devotional service. Ano yung science na yun? Tinuturo ni Lord Krishna. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a little water, I will accept it. Ano yung ina-accept ng Supreme Person? Yung devotion mo. Yung flower, medium lang yun. You come to this temple, magpunta kayo, you dance to Krishna. Ano yung medium nyo? You offering your dancing to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is very pleased. You come to the temple, you arrange, nagwalis ka, it's very pleasing. Kasi when you sweep the temple, the floor of the temple, like what Lord Chaitanya did, it purifies your heart. Okay? You bow down your head to Lord Chaitanya, it purifies you. Kasi malalaman mo, hindi ka naman pala talaga nagbabow down kasi usually pag bodily identification ka, unsa na lang na, muluhod ko, mubow down ko. Hindi mo alam, yung process pala ng devotional service is that when you bow down, you're able to use this body and offer it to God. You're bowing down to God, okay? Ang nangyari nun, you are forcing the body, yung senses mo, to bow down. Pero makikita mo, wala ka naman palang feeling of bowing down, meaning doing the will of God. It becomes a ritual lang. Okay? Pasok ka sa church, luhod ka lang. Okay? Paglabas mo, okay? Ritual lang na ginagawa mo. It's not really your life. Okay? Kaya yung devotee, it's in that world. Transcendental world. Because what is natural for him, inseparable from him, is connected with devotion to God. Kaya kung businessman siya, he offers what is excess for the service of God. Okay? Halimbawa, ang dami niyang na-harvest ng mga pagkain. He offers it to Krsna, he goes feeding. Pakainin ng mga individuals to eat prasadam. Okay? Halimbawa, you're a mother. Okay? Yung mother, makita nila, ano ba talaga pag may katawang ka babae, okay? You can bear children, okay? You can take care sa womb mo, you can use it, yung womb mo, yung body mo, to have a child. And then the child, when he comes out of your body sa ovary, then the child, you take care of the child, you arrange an environment, that person is connected with what is transcendental. You teach him that she's not the body or he's not the body, and you give him the holy names of God. So, yung buhay mo, seemingly, yung isang family man, saka isang household life, materialistic. Lahat sila, enjoyment. Okay, may pera na tayo nakuha, punta tayo ngayon sa Boracay. Okay? Mag-meeting tayo uli, lahat ng mga kaibigan natin, mga kapatid. Hindi ba may tawag din? Tawag nila lahat ng mga, halimbawa, family nila ni Pedro Nillas ang Pikatuk, okay? Makakaroon sila ng dyan, okay? Libo-libong mga kamag-anak sa tuhod, apo sa apo, lolo sa lolo, nandyan lahat, okay? Magsasama-sama, okay? Yun ang focus nila. At anong gagawin? Kanta sa videoke, okay? At i-glorify yung sarili nila. Pero yung devotee, hindi ganun. Okay? He raises a family to be focused, to be connected with the pleasure of God. Kaya nga, pagpasok nyo sa bahay, napapansin ba nyo? A family that prays together stays together. Okay? Ano yung prayer? It is a prayer of submissiveness, to be offering, to be thankful to God. Kaya yung person who's by nature kind and gentle, when under the guidance of the spiritual master, is able to experience the sweetness of compassion, the sweetness of caring. Because that is the fruit of love for God. When you're loving God, kaya nga ang first teaching ng Christianity is to love the Father with thy whole heart, thy whole mind, thy whole being. And second unto that is you love your neighbor as you love yourself, your brothers. And how can it be done? It's like when you water the root of the tree, all the leaves and branches will be nourished. Okay? So mangyayari nun, it becomes natural for you to love. Because you're loving the Father, you'll be loving all the children. But it must be based upon wisdom. So ano yung difference between transcendental wisdom, yung materialism, sectarianism. Mga Muslim, mga Kristiyano na, okay? Religious, okay? Sectarianism. O kaya iba naman, Amerikano na, okay? Hapon, Inchik. So, it's all about body labels, okay? Pag dito naman, hindi ba nyo napansin, dahil sa bodily identification, at yung mga nasa bodily identification din, pag may program dito ng feeding, makita nyo, tawag nila, sabihin nila, oy, ko, mga manubo na dito. Di ba nyo napapansin yun? Pag may feeding tayo, konti lang talaga yung nag-a-attend kasi mga manubo na sila, okay? Merong prejudice, okay? Yung prejudice kasi, ano yun parang kung nasa epitome ng arrogance yun, di para na kayo si Hitler, yung Aryan na, lahat ng hindi Aryan, okay, kagaya nila na super race. So makikita nyo, Ilonggo na, okay? Ang isa naman, Bulano na, okay? Cebuano na, Waray na. So, labels ba lahat? So, yung devotee, si Advaita Acharya, pinakita lang sa atin kung ano yung puso niya ng devotee, ng spiritual master. He comes here with compassion. But when they come to this world, they're not of this world. So tayo rin, when we come in contact with this transcendental science, at sinunod natin, we may be in this world, okay? But you're not of this world. Because you are now self-realized. And your heart is not based upon this disease of materialism. You're able to see your brother and you're able to see your shortcomings. Kaya ngayon, what will happen, because the mind, lagi nandyan lahat yung desires So what will happen? You, the person, will be able to harness the mind and hold the unbridled horses. Kasi nga, ang focus mo ngayon, it's not about this temporary body, but you're using this temporary body to do what is pleasing to God. Kaya anything that has been your shackle before, for example, sanay ka na hindi i-control yung kabayo, okay? Alam mo, hindi okay to kasi it's not pleasing to God, okay? Like drinking, smoking, eating meat, o kaya engaging in illicit affair. Kasi alam mo, it will separate you from this relationship of offering everything, a relationship with God. So yun ang point ko. We must establish a pure, loving relationship with God. And it's not about joining. It is about you yourself coming to the point of realizing that I'm very far from God. I'm sinful. I'm hardcore. Hindi ako hardcore. Hardcore. Okay? Alam mo yung hardcore? Yung puso kasi natin, malambot. Pero ngayon, dahil sa association natin sa matter, we have become hardcore. Alam mo yung hardcore? Okay? Gahi. Kaya we relate to God in hardness. So, paano tayo makakirelate sa Supreme Person? It is about gentleness. It's about submissiveness. It's about feeling lower than the straw in the street. Humility. Okay? Because that is a relationship of purity. Kaya the more you chant, the more you become purified. The more you see you're very far from the Supreme Person and your shelter is the Supreme Person and He's there who's loving you. And how do you relate to Him? You relate with Him with thankfulness. Mapapasalamat ka ba? Because He loves you eternally. And He's very gentle, He's very sweet. Kaya you relate to Him with honesty. Paano nyo ginagawa ngayon? Ano nagse-separate sa atin with relationship with God? We are duplistic. Alam yung duplistic? Doble kara ba? Kasi hindi natin makontrol yung horses eh. Saka yung mind. Pag, halimbawa, ganito Pag nag-iisa ka, wala kang ginagawa. Hindi ba may kasabihan? An idle mind is a devil's workshop. Ibig sabihin, pag idle ka, wala kang ginagawa. You're not holding the horses, you're not directing the mind, idle ka ba, nakaupo ka lang. So ngayon, ikaw yung nanonood sa lahat ng palabas sa isipan mo. Lahat ng palabas. Nakaupo ka ron, na-experience mo, dati ganito ginagawa namin. Okay? Hindi lang yon. Marami pa dahil sa influence ng passion. Nandun ka, nakaupo. Kaya ang sabi doon, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Okay? Ano-anong papasok sa utak mo. Kaya yung process natin is to experience and engage in a higher activity that will give you higher taste. And what is that taste? It's the taste of loving God. Activities. Yung idle mind, it is the taste of trying to falsely attempted enjoyment with a different energy, matter. Okay? Kaya nga, sabi ni Jesus sa Christian teaching, okay? May lumapit kay Jesus, dalawa yun eh. Yung isa, connected with what we're discussing. Ang isa, sabi niya, Master, I will follow you, okay? Sabi ni Jesus Christ sa kanya, okay, follow me. And that person is very rich. Materially ba, okay? Ibig sabihin, he possess a lot of wealth, material things. Sabi ni Jesus, okay, give up everything, okay? And follow me. Ano nangyari dun sa person? Nag-hesitate siya. Ano yung hesitate? Nagduwa-duwa ba ang isipan? Okay? Nagduwa-duwa ang isipan, di ko, ang akong shelter, ihatag na ako. Asa na akong shelter? Di ba? If I give my life to God, follow Him, follow what He's doing, what do I have? Yun ang shelter niya. So, yun yung rich man. So, lahat tayo rito sa material world, we will be separated. Ano yung rich man? It's someone who thinks he owns. Kaya nga, sinabi ko, dalawang businessman, yung isa, caretaker. Yung isa, false ownership. To enjoy his senses, to follow, to fulfill yung material desires niya. Yung isa is someone who is in this consciousness of loving service to God. And he's in the world that is transcendental. Okay, naintindihan niya? So sabi ni Jesus, it is impossible for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God than for a camel to enter the eye of a needle. Sabi niya, para bang, paano mo ipapasok yung camel sa eye ng needle? So sabi ng tinanong, who can enter the kingdom of God? Yun ang tanong. Sabi ni Jesus Christ, for man it is impossible, for God it's possible. Intindihan nyo? So, ano yung nag-separate sa atin, sa mundo na ito ngayon? Lahat tayo mayaman eh. Kasi you possess this body. It's wealth. Diba? Lahat kayo may pera. Lahat kayo may mamanahin sa nanay. Relatively speaking, wala talagang mahirap dito. Lahat kayo wealthy. So, ano yung rich man? It's someone who is falsely thinking, I own. Ako ang nagmamayari. Kaya makikita niyo yung effect ha. Tignan niyo sa material world. For example, you own something. Akala mo yun ha. So, nag-focus ka nasa false bodily identification ka, okay? So ngayon, dahil sa lust, you're frustrated. And then if you're frustrated, you become angry. So magpapakita ko sa inyo ng isang story, okay? Halimbawa, for example, married couple ba? Yung husband goes to work, okay? Pag uwi niya, somebody is there, kasama ng wife niya, sa bed, okay? Nakita niya yung wife niya, yung mahal niya, with someone. So, nag-snap siya, okay? Crime of passion. May dala siyang baril, binunot niya kagad, kasi balagay natin pulis, okay? Hindi pulis patola, ha? Binaril niya, galit siya, okay? Galit niya ba? Okay? Tapos yakap niya yung wife niya. I love you, okay? Nawalan siya intelligence ba? Kasi bakit? He thinks, you're mine, okay? How come somebody, okay, is trying to possess you? Okay. Pero natural lang talaga, immoral yon. Pero makita nyo yung effect ng lust, you lose your intelligence. Kaya yung taong sabi mo, I love you, pero pinatay mo, I love you, okay? Kasi ang idea mo, I own you. Okay? I am the one who will enjoy you. Okay? Your breast belongs to me. How come he's muddling your breast? Okay? Tingnan mo? Makita nyo? How Maya is very powerful. Pero akala nyo in control kayo. Is it clear? So makita nyo, freedom means understanding your true identity. So you'll be in the right direction to focus your life with that love that is inseparable from you. And that person who can address that is the self-sufficient, most lovable person we call Krsna, Allah, Jehovah. Okay? Yun yung science na pinag-aaralan niyo. Wala na iba. Okay? Kaya makikita nyo yung spiritual master, like si Jagad and Madai, pinuntahan siya back to the point, pinuntahan siya ni Haridas Thakur at ni Lord Nityananda. And told them na, okay, sabi sa kanya, my dear gentleman, please chant the holy names. Okay? Eh yung dalawa, sabi niya, unsa man na, okay, dinidistorbo mo kami So sa galit nila, binato nila si Lord Nityananda ng banga, tumama sa ulo, dumugo, okay? Pero kung titignan nyo sa Pastimes si Lord Chaitanya, they're playing as ordinary person. So in this case, someone who was instructed by Lord Chaitanya to preach, to give the holy names. Kailan na nangyari? Nung ginawa nila yon, nalaman ni Lord Chaitanya, kaya pumunta si Lord Chaitanya, galit na galit, para patayin yung dalawa. And Lord Nityananda stopped Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Out of his mercy, out of his love. At nakita yun ni Jagad and Madana. Through the association of the pure devotee, out of his compassion and love, they became devotees of God. Yun ang power ng devotee. The power of the devotee is that he can influence someone who is a materialist through his love and mercy, because his desire for us to be pure devotees of Krishna can be achieved through his mercy, provided we follow. Provided we follow. Just like Jagad and Madai, after seeing Lord Chaitanya with the Sudarshan chakra to cut their head, they're so afraid. Wow, I will gonna die. Yung isa naman, nag-bow down, okay? And sabi ni Lord Nityananda, My dear Lord Chaitanya, they're the prime candidate because they're the most fallen. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si Jagad and Madai, who are most fallen ba, they achieved success. They became pure devotees of Krishna. Okay? So, yung process na, descending process, coming from Krishna, Mahavishnu, okay, who instructed this teaching to Lord Brahma through the heart, and pass on down to the spiritual master, that we can be in harmony with what we're searching for. That this ocean of water that we are wanting and we're in the desert can be now achieved when we are in harmony with our true transcendental nature as eternally the loving servant of God. Because from that point, we're able to relate to God in gentleness, in purity. When we come to the point of the third prayer of Lord Chaitanya and chanting the holy names. Yun yung process. It's all about compassion, love, and care. Pero hindi mo makita yun. Pag materially contaminated ka, inisip mo, pag nasa false ego ka, alam yung false ego? You're on your own trip. Para bang pinagsabihan ka, immediately you become angry. Pero actually, it's your false ego. Okay, kaya akala mo ina-attack ka. So, magbigay ako ng halimbawa na gano'n ha. For example, nasa material world tayo, we're suffering, and we're in this lordship mentality, the spiritual master comes, chant the holy name, Jagad and Madai. They became angry. Ba't mo sinisira yung mundo namin? Okay? So ngayon, I'll give you an analogy. You know the desert? Pag sa isang area sa desert, kung minsan umuulan malalim, nakakaroon ng tubig. Okay? Nakakaroon ng oasis, yung desert. Pero dahil desert yun, mainit, ngayon, pag may tubig, nandun lahat yung mga living entities, okay? Pag yung turtle, alam yung turtle? Bao ba? Di ba ang bao, lisod man na baklay? Turtle walk ba? So, ang laki nung nandun siya, naglalakad siya, biglang naabutan na yung tubig sa sapa, nag-evaporate, pumunta na sa taas, naging cloud sa uli. At nandun na siya sa putik, tumigas na yung putik, hindi siya makalakad, okay? Ngayon, sa paligid na yun, nandun lahat yung predators. Alam yung predators? Nandun yung buhaya, nandun yung hyena, nandun yung baksan, nandun siya ba? Uy, kuyaw ni Lugara, okay? Kuyaw ni Lugara, okay? Kasi ang body niya, yung putik, naggahi na ba sa init? Petrified ba? Alam yung petrified? Nagahi na ba? Halimbawa, na petrified ba? Tumigas na ba? So, hindi na siya makagalaw. Kasi, nabalot na siya ng ng putik na naging bato na. Tapos, may person na kakita, luoy ni kawawa naman ni turtle. Na ba sa palibot na buhaya dito nagtanaw-tanaw ba? Okay? Nagawas na di ba sa sapa may mga butas-butas? Lantaw na ba? Kinsay na bilin di, gutom naman ko. Nandun ang turtle. Kita na turtle ako. Mga predator, okay? Sa mundo na to may mga predators din. People will exploit you, pero another topic yun, okay? So ngayon, nakita siya ng person, okay, luoy man kayo ni, gikuha siya, gidala sa kalugar, gikuha tong mga lapok. So, ang mangyari sa turtle, gahi man, okay? Lisod. Okay? Gawa siya ang ulo, paakon pa niya ka ng nagtabang sa iya. Okay? Why are you hurting me? Pero di siya kaibalo, kasabot, na yung false ego, ganun din. Okay? Ano yung false ego? False bodily identification. Okay? At pag sinabi mo yung totoo, sinisira mo yung mundo niya. Okay? So ngayon, tatanggalin yun. Pag natanggal yun, makakalakad na yung turtle. Okay? Pero sa una, habang tinatanggal yun, ano gilisod ko nimo? Sakit kayo, okay? So ngayon, ikaw nag-identify sa body, Lord ka, pag sinabi sa'yo, dili na himuon, di na maayo. Okay? You become servant of your senses. You lose your intelligence. Di ka madul sa Ginoo. May mundo ka, kagaya ni Jagad and Madai. Nung lumapit si Lord Nityananda, si Haridas Thakur, please, my dear gentleman, chant the holy name. Suko sila nga naman, laptan ko ninyo, ha? Kamundo, ha? Bunalat. Apason sila para patsyon. Okay? So, dagan si Lord Nityananda. Next day, pagpunta, yun na, binato ng pat. Okay? Pag nasa false bodily identification ka, false ego, pag sinabi yung totoo sa'yo, akala mo inaatake ka. Pero actually, ang kinakat doon, yung false identification mo. Okay? Kaya ang nangyari, instead na you receive the knowledge, you protect yung mundo mo. Okay? Kaya yung holy names is so powerful that it touches your heart. It purifies you from all these misgivings. You begin to realize, uy, ang dumi ko pala. Okay? So ngayon, how can I be entering that world of pure devotion? Para yung baboy ba, kayo sa bahay nyo, di ba? For example, sa sala nyo sa bahay. Papasukin ba nyo yung baboy na puro ang dumi-dumi ang baho? Oy, mga baboy, pasok dito, okay? Oink, 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 oink. Yakapin ba nyo yung baboy? Hindi nyo gagawin yun, di ba? So how do you relate to the Supreme Person when you are so much engrossed? It's like a pig ba? Okay? Puro dumi. Okay? So ngayon, yung purification is the process that will free you from this shackle of false bodily identification. Akala mo madali lang to realize you're not the body? Hindi basta-basta rin yun. Kasi to understand you're not the body, you must be purified. And ano yung purificatory process? Parang pag madumi yung kamay mo, yung purificatory process, tubig, di ba? Sabon. O kaya, dagdagan mo pa ng joy. Okay?
Haribol.
Okay, let's chant for Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya. Haribol, Haribol.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda,
Come on, everybody sing loud.
Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, Haribol, everybody sing that. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Haribol, Haribol, Haribol Goranga Haribol
Gopala Govinda Rama
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Haribol, Haribol Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate